Ayo, Lloyd Ruhl, aka MegaBlitzz. In today's video, we're going to be looking at all the Day 2 decks from the Dortmund and the Joinville regionals. Now, I was really enjoying my time watching the Dortmund regionals. Just a lot of different decks going on. A lot of people were kind of innovating different things. We saw Goldango in top 8. We saw a Palkia deck up there. Iron Thorns even made its way to top 8. And then a very interesting Dragapult list as well. So let's get into that one. This Dragapult list, which was won by, I believe the way you pronounce it is Ryuki Okada, I'm pretty sure. But there is no Pidgeot. No Pidgeot EX in the deck here. So we're not really quick searching at all in the game. We're not trying to find these pieces. However, we do have a couple other things going for this deck here. And the big one is Tatsugiri with its ability to attract customers. Once during your turn, this Pokemon's in your active spot, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck, reveal a supporter card you find there, put it in your hand, and then shuffle other cards back into your deck. So that helps you to be able to find your Arven, which can then also help you find your Nest Ball into your Forest Seal Stone, to find your Rotom, to instant charge, and then Buddy Buddy Poffin, find those, things like that, to be able to get your Dreepies and your Duskulls on the bench, because we are playing a 2-1-2 Duskull, Dusclops, and Dusknoir line, and then a 4-3-3 line of Dragapult EX. And I will say, something that we do see very often in Japan that we don't really see over here is double Rotom. A lot of our lists don't play 2 Rotom, they play 1, but the people in Japan love the double Rotom. They want to get that Rotom V. They want to be able to instant charge, and they want to get that set up moving quickly. And I really just think it's interesting, too, because there's no Briar in this deck either. We're going for, Crispin, which is really cool. We have other things like the Sparkling Crystal in the deck, which is the ace spec of choice here, making it so when your Terra Pokemon, when the Terra Pokemon card's attached to you as an attack, it costs 1 energy less. Which can be pretty cool, especially because Dragapult, for its Phantom Dive, requires a Fire and a Psychic, so you only need one or the other, which is pretty neat. But, once again, I just think it's really cool, and I also want to point out the fact that Dragapult beat Lugia, and the reason it beats Lugia really well is they tech for it. They're playing a Temple of Sinnoh. And I had heard this somewhere, and I do agree. I believe it was Josh Frink had said it on the Lake of Rage podcast. And Josh had said, if you tech for Lugia, you will beat Lugia. If you don't tech for Lugia, you won't beat Lugia most of the time. Which I do agree, it is mostly true. If you know how Lugia works and you tech for it and you're playing Temple of Sinnoh, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to beat Lugia. But if you don't respect Lugia and don't recognize its existence, it's going to cook you. So, pretty cool seeing that winning list. Speaking of Lugia, Ruhl's list, exact 60 that we have seen him play for the last couple events, actually played this exact 62 Worlds and the Baltimore Regionals, where he took 9th at Worlds, and then I believe it was 5th, I think, at Baltimore, and then a 2nd place finish with this list as well. Has not changed a single card at all. He actually made a Twitter post saying, the only thing I've changed to this list is the sleeves. So this list might just be the kind of nice go-to list here. It looks kind of weird and kind of clunky, but as a avid Lugia player like myself, I have tried many different Lugia lists. I've played Kieran's list. I've played my own version of Lugia, where it's just kind of like Turbo going into Cincina. We're trying to punch with Lugia really quickly. I've played Ruhl's list and many others as well. I've played it without Wellspring Ogerpon. I've played it with Wellspring Ogerpon. And this list has given me the best results so far. That in the list that I have cooked up myself, which is kind of like a Turbo Lugia variant where you're just like punching with Lugia as fast as you can, setting up Cincinos and just going fast. These 2 lists have given me the best results. So, pretty cool there. We got Goldango making its way into top 8 as well here. Nothing too crazy going on with this Lugia deck. This Goldango deck, especially because, I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm pretty sure it's Gel. Either way, if you click on their name, the last 5 placements is Goldango And yeah, so they know how to play Goldango. I'm pretty sure they've earned, yes, it is 12K. 7K plus 5K is 10, plus 2 is 12. So $12,000 they have earned just by playing Goldango EX. So pretty cool. Nicely done. They know how to play Goldango. We got Stefan Ivanos, Palkia Dusknoir list. Nothing too crazy. We kind of seen very similar list with, I believe it was somebody at Baltimore had played this to a top 8. Can't quite remember the name right now, though. Something Grafton, I believe. But they had played a very similar list to Baltimore. And then Stefan Ivanov kind of twisting it a little bit to what they prefer and being able to do really well with it. So very nicely done. We got, you know, Raging Bolt making its way in here. Nothing too crazy with Raging Bolt. The only thing big change is we're playing a 1-1 Dusknoir line with Rare Candy and the Briar in here to kind of skew the prize trade a little bit, make it also so we can get nice KOs on things like Charizard and stuff like that. Got an Iron Thorns in here, nothing too crazy. Just got a Mimikyu and a Cornerstone Mask Ogre Pawn in the deck. There's a little bit extra. But other than that, everything's kind of the same as far as that goes. We're playing an Enhanced Hammer because we respect the Neo Upper and we respect Legacy. And we want to cook our Lugia opponent even more than we already are, I'm guessing. Also, just removing like double turbos against like Terapagos and stuff like that's really good as well. But yeah, overall, just really good playing the Sentinel Machine De-Evolution. I like that a lot in the deck as well. So cooking up with Iron Thorns here. Got a Miraidon in 7th place here. Playing the Mewtwo so we can take advantage of the Area 0 under depths. Basically, if you have a Terra Pokemon in play, you can have 8 Pokemon up to your bench, and if the Terra Pokemon or this stadium is discarded, you have to basically go down to 5. So we're playing the Mewtwo literally just so we can get big KOs with our Raikou V. Once Pikachu EX comes out, it just replaces Mewtwo, kind of plain and simple. I feel like the 2 retreat on this Mewtwo feels really bad, so if you start it, it's kind of tough. You got to have like Rescue Board attach to it, attach retreat, and then hit Jenny's really nicely. It's kind of clunky and awkward if you start with Mewtwo. We got another Lugia deck, kind of a more standard Lugia list, I would say. The Klefki is a little bit different, but overall pretty standard Lugia list. Playing the Klefki over the Weird Deer, kind of going for more of that consistency-ish style. Got the Iron Hands in there. Got the Thornton in there, so we can make cool Thornton plays, which is pretty awesome. And then we got Tord with his Terapagos Dusknoir deck. Kind of, I think this is like the Checkmate Terapagos deck is what they're calling this right now, is the Checkmate deck. I've only played against it a couple times. I've actually not really got a chance to play it yet, but I am looking forward to playing it because it does look really fun. But super cool. Leave it up to Tord to cook up something crazy. Tord's always doing that kind of thing. I mean, the most accomplished player, money won $173,000 just by playing Pokemon. 15 Travel Awards, you know, just 5 international wins, 3 regional wins. I mean, 13 and 13 total for top cuts just in general. I mean, yeah. Sorry, Jason Klaczynski, but Tord's my pick. It is what it is. I'm also just a newer generation of Pokemon players, and I've kind of noticed that too, that older generation Pokemon players will say Jason Klaczynski is the best player or the GOAT, and newer players will say Tord, but I never got to play with Jason Klaczynski. Actually, Andrew Mahone did a whole video about this thing. If you haven't seen it, definitely go watch it. It's actually really entertaining, and I really enjoyed it. It was really cool to see like different people talking about Tord and Jason Klaczynski and stuff. I really did enjoy that. Got a Regidrogo deck here. I don't think anything too crazy with Regidrogo. We're not playing Goodra. We're playing double Dragapult. Got the Halucha in here. Got the Temple of Sinnoh because you got to respect Lugia. You just got to do it. We got Raging Bolt, Dragapult, Pidgeot here. We got Banette Gardevoir, which is pretty cool. We did see a deck like this on stream. I'm actually pretty sure it was this exact person, I believe. Yes, I remember this name, but I remember... But yeah, definitely a pretty cool deck trying to like item lock your opponent. Then you move the damage counters with Monkey Dory, and then you can, raid out of Kazam, move their damage counters around and take more KOs. And it's wild. It really is. Pretty cool though. Then we got John Ang playing Regidrogo. Got a Gardevoir. Got a Terapagos Dusknoir, Regidrogo, Terapagos, Charizard Pidgeot. So our first Charizard deck is down here in 20th place. So Charizard not doing too hot at the Dortmund Regionals here. But overall, just Charizard Pidgeot, got some Dusknoirs in there. Nothing too crazy other than that. We're playing the Rotom, trying to instant charge early. We got Unfair Stamp, which Unfair Stamp feels kind of irrelevant right now. I would rather just see them play something like, I don't even know, maybe Maximum Belt, so you can, like, hit bigger numbers, I guess, quicker. Maybe? I don't know. Unfair Stamp, I guess, is kind of just, like, the okay pick. You can sometimes stick it to the opponent. If you can go, like, if you can go Boss up Pheasantipity, Unfair Stamp, KO Pheasantipity, then it's fine, because then they can't draw out of it. But if you can't KO the Pheasantipity, and you use Unfair Stamp, then they just go Unfair Stamp you to 2, take a KO, and then they go, okay, draw for turn, I have 3 cards, flip the script, draw 3, I'm at 6 already. Feels kind of bad. So, I guess they have that going for you. Terrapago's got a Dragapult Dusknoir, got a Palkia Noctowl deck. I think the first Palkia Noctowl deck, actually, here. Probably something very similar to, like, the Shuffle Squad list, I would imagine. Playing Chen Pao in here so we can Shivery Chill. We're doing crazy stuff here. We are doing crazy stuff. But, pretty cool to see Chen Pao on the list. So we can, like I said, Shivery Chill and kind of get our way there. You know, get some more Regidrogos, Terrapagos, Raging Bull, bunch of Charizards. Got a Pidgeot control deck here. Got the Wellspring, got a Terrapagos. So kind of an interesting control deck. Pretty cool here. I think probably the coolest card I would say in this deck is probably the Genesect with its Ace Nullifier. If this Pokemon has a tool attached to it, your opponent can't play any Ace Spec cards from their hand, which is pretty cool. So like no Prime Catcher, no Unfair Stamp, no Sparkling Crystal, anything like that, they can't play it. Lugia is kind of in the clear because you can just turbo the Legacy energy to your Pokemon, which is kind of cool. So you have that going for you. Got a Lost Box deck making its way into day 2. Kind of crazy. Thought Lost Box was a little dead. We got this Iron Leaves in here. We got Avenging Edge. For your Pokemon knocked out by an attack from your during pilot's turn, take 6 more damage. So kind of very similar to the Tropius that we had seen before, playing Secret Box as well, which is kind of interesting. Trying to just discard stuff and kind of like turbo your way there, I'm guessing. Another Iron Thorns, Charizard, Iron Thorns, Palkia, Chen Pao back, Excalibur making its way in here though. Kind of cool. Yeah, nothing crazy with the Chen Pao. Enhanced Hammer, I guess, is kind of cool. Playing Pheasantipity. Yeah, this is just a normal Chen Pao list. So that's pretty cool. Chen Pao kind of still around. We got Stall. Got another Goldango. Check out one of these Stall lists. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, I figured nothing too wild. Stall's one of those decks where not much changes. You kind of gain trainers every once in a while, but that's about it. I don't think there's too many other decks that are really... Oh, okay, sorry. We did have a Gouging Fire deck make its way into day 2 with the Fire Ogre Palm. We have the Entei, the Gouging Fire with Delphox and Fluttermane, and then you have the Monkey Dory, so you can move damage counters around and all kinds of crazy stuff. Pretty cool, though. Was pretty shocked to see it in day 2, but it does make sense because you can just press it as Vitality the energies to your Gouging Fire, so you can Blaze Blitz for 260 on top of the Adrenabrain Monkey Dory, so you Magma Basin one of them, and then put 2 damage counters on it, and then you go, okay, Adrenabrain, move 2 off of Gouging Fire, Sawda's attach for turn, your opponent's V-Star or whatever is at 260 now because of the Adrenabrain, Blaze Blitz for 260, and then you're kind of okay. So, pretty cool, innovative deck. I kind of like it, kind of like Raging Bolt-ish. We got a Roaring Moon here. Nothing too crazy. Got Temple of Sinnoh. Got to respect the Lugia as well. See, a lot of people respecting Lugia. We got Ogerpon Noivern. I'm assuming this is very similar to the list we had seen everyone else kind of play. 2 Diancie, which is pretty cool. Really helps in the Lugia matchup. Especially they have like the Iron Hands. You can just like diffuse reflection, KO their Iron Hands because it has a bunch of energy onto it. Take 2 prize cards, but you're only going to take 1, but you get rid of the Iron Hands, which is kind of nice. And then you get rid of the Legacy energy on top of that, which is pretty cool. So get to have cool plays like that. But at Dusknoir deck, we've seen this one a little bit before. Dusknoir line with the Banette package, trying to item lock and blow a bunch of stuff up, which is pretty cool. Another Lugia deck. I got the Cloth Electro deck here. I think this deck is super fake. I think it's just kind of not a meme per se, but just kind of like a one-off. I would say a one-off. Is I believe what I would call this. So we're gonna have to also we got Future Thorns in here with the Iron Crown, so we can punch harder with our Iron Thorns. That's kind of interesting. That's pretty cool. Okay. Got the Dangerous Laser. Your opponent at the Pokemon is burning confused. What the heck is going on? Playing Dangerous Laser over here. This person is cooking. Who the heck played this? Tim Schrader or something, I believe is how you pronounce that. But attaboy. I mean, that's wild. Playing Iron Crown so you can punch harder. I'm here for that. Another Palkia deck, which is pretty cool. Nothing too crazy, just like a Dusknoir line. I don't know why it doesn't say. I guess it's more of like maybe a Greninja Palkia deck with Terapagos as opposed to just a Palkia deck with Dusknoir, maybe. I'm not too sure on that one. We got another Roaring Moon here, another Regidrogo. This one playing Hisuian Goodra V-Star. I've seen some people play it, some people not play Goodra. It's kind of just hit or miss what people want to play. Another Stall, another Banette, another Raging Bolt, the tons of Raging Bolts, another Gardevoir. So I want to take a look at the statistics here. So we have 25 Terapagos decks. Now, I will say this isn't breaking up the... Maybe it just is the Terapagos Dusknoir lists? Okay, so yeah, this is all the Terapagos lists, but this one's just a straight Terapagos list, but also still playing the Dusknoir package, but also playing Pidgeot, so... Maybe it is just Terapagos Dusknoir. Either way, 25 counts of that, which is pretty cool for 15%. We got 23 Raging Bolts with about 14%. We got 18 Charizards, but they're kind of towards the bottom for like 11%. We got Regidrogas here for 16 of those for about 10%. Lugia for 14 of those for about 9%. 10 Dragapults, but once again, kind of Dragapult, Dusknoir, Dragapult, Pidgeot. For about 6%. Snorlax Stall, 8 of those at 5%. 7 Thorns for about 4%. 6 Gardevoir decks at about 3.5%, 4%. But Pidgeot Control got 6 at 4%. Banette, Dusknoir, and Gardevoir about 4%. 2 Palkia, Dusknoir, 2 Palkia, and Noctowl. 1 just regular Palkia, which was part of that Greninja-ish package one. For at 3%, 5 Miraidon at 3%, Roaring Moon 3 at 2%, 2 Goldenga at 1%, 2 Lost Box, which I'm pretty sure we had a Lost Sablezard, right? No, okay, so it's just 2 other ones here. But once again, nothing too crazy. This one playing Prime Catcher, so them just kind of being like, hey, like this has got Iron Thorns in the deck, which is kind of cool. So you're kind of like this control-ish style Lost Box deck. 1 Chien-Pao, 1 Dialga, 1 Cloth, 1 Gouging Fire, 1 Ogerpon at about 1% of the meta. Now, I did say at the beginning of the video that I was going to also go over Joinville, but I'm looking, and this is about 18-ish minutes of recording, so I'm actually just going to do an entire separate video for the Joinville Regionals. I'm just going to upload them the next day after I upload the Dortmund one. So, if you guys want the content I've been making for the channel, don't forget to leave a like, smash the subscribe button. I would appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the Part 2 Joinville Regionals. Peace!